Dave Schoenfield here with my good friend Eric Karabell. We're here to talk about one of our pet peeves in baseball, managers who don't know how to use their closer. Eric, Charlie Manuel, what's going on here?
Well, why would you use Jonathan Papelbon in the ninth inning of a tie game when you have David Herndon available? So Charlie Manuel's made some interesting moves this first week of the season, but he has job security. He won a World Series. They win the division every year, but, you know, it's interesting to look at a manager when he doesn't have quite the talent that he had in years past, and the Phillies don't have that, and I wonder if there's some other managers around baseball who are dealing with the same type of thing.
Well, Charlie's job is safe. We know that.
Yes.
But Freddie Gonzalez in Atlanta, last night he had a weird move. He benched Jason Hayward. He got Matt Diaz's bat in there against a lefty, but he played Juan Francisco, like Hayward, a left-handed batter. Francisco makes 3 errors. The team makes 4. They lose to the Astros.
He's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
Freddie's in a little bit of trouble, and you alluded to bullpen usage earlier. And last year he overused Craig Kimbrell, Johnny Venters, Eric O'Flaherty. There's no question. I mean, hopefully they don't have arm problems this year. But the Braves can't really afford a bad start because they're not going to be like a Detroit or Yankees offense, and they're going to make comebacks like that. So I think if you talk about a manager on the hot seat, number one right now would be Freddie Gonzalez, and he needs Chipper Jones and Jason Hayward and Tommy Hanson. Who knows what his shoulder will do? He really needs a lot of breaks.
Does he last the week? I mean, they're 0-4. If they're 1-6, 1-7, I don't know if he survives the week.
I think he can survive the week, but the season, I think he has to contend again this year. That was a bad collapse last September.
No, it was terrible. The fans are already on him, so we'll see what happens there. This might be a long shot. Ron Gardenhire, been there forever. Twins have had 2 managers since the 80s. They're 0-4. They were terrible last year.
But only one bad season. That was last year. And obviously Mauer and Morneau being injured, I don't know if Gardenhire wants to be there forever. I mean, like if it's going to be a losing team for the next couple of years, maybe he doesn't want to be a part of that. I think he has like a little bit of a past there, like the Buffalo Sabres or Lindy Ruff. I mean, just stay there. Nobody will notice.
That's not a hockey reference?
It's a hockey reference. I like hockey. Don't you?
I love playoffs.
Playoffs are here. I think if I'm naming another manager on the hot seat, I don't think Gardenhire really is. I think definitely Freddie. I think Dusty Baker has to win now too, because the Reds should have been good last year. They made the playoffs a couple years ago, and now they've got this Aroldis Chapman situation and trades they've made. They traded a lot for Matt Latos. They need to win now.
I mean, what do you think of his lineup? He's been batting Joey Votto 3rd, Jay Bruce 5th, breaking up his 2 best hitters, but the cleanup guy is usually Scott Rowland. Is that the right move to be making?
Jay Bruce could hit 40 home runs one of these years.
I mean, is it that important to break up your left-handed hitters?
Well, that's another thing about managers. I mean, not only do they mess up bullpens, and Dusty's done that on occasion, but, I mean, their lineups. I mean, batting a guy who's going to bunt in the number 2 spot in the order doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, he did that with Paul Janisch at times last year, splitting up your lefties. I mean, how many teams really have great lefties that you have to split up Votto and Bruce? And Votto hits lefties, so I don't know about Dusty Baker. They have to get off to a good start, too. They can't be 5 games out after May, or else he could be in a little trouble as well.
Do we even go into Joe Girardi or Bobby Valentine?
Yes!
Their jobs are safe, right?
Well, let's say the Red Sox start out 2-12 like they did last year. Bobby Valentine has no bullpen. He only has 3 starting pitchers, and 2 of them got
4
lit.
games. You can't say the bullpen's not
But
good.
you know the pressure there is different than the pressure in Minnesota or Buffalo. I mean, come on. I mean, and Valentine's saying all kinds of crazy things already, and he doesn't know what he wants to do with Daniel Bard, and now he's got a great lineup. I mean, Joe Girardi had a bad – you want to talk about Charlie Manuel having a bad opening weekend? Joe Girardi had a terrible weekend.
Nothing that Joe did worked.
No, and obviously the pressure's on him, too. I mean, it's been, 2 years since they won the World Series?
Yeah.
So
maybe Hank Steinbrenner has a little bit of his father in
there. Girardi's been the Yankees manager longer than he actually played for the Yankees. So he's been there a long time now.
That's a good point.
And, he's obviously not going to get the Cubs job anytime soon. But who's the 3rd manager that we could say is definitely – you think Gardenhire's definitely on a hot seat here?
I just think the Twins need to change their organizational philosophy. This whole thing of defense and control pitchers, they strung it out as long as possible. It doesn't work anymore. And I think for that team to build again, it's going to take a whole change in the organization.
This is so negative, man.
I know. It's the first week of the year. We should be more positive.
All right, next time.
For Eric Karabell, I'm Dave Schoenfield. We'll see what happens to Freddie Gonzalez. This is Sweet Spot TV.